Yeah. Our topic, Nellie and I chose for this week is attachment and clinging. And Nellie can't join us today. And I'm rather attached to sharing the Sunday Dharma talk with her, and you might be too. Um, we did have time to meet this week for the topic. So I wrote up this Dharma talk in the style of our book. And I'm going to, mostly read from it, from us going back and forth, and then our shared thoughts together. And I'm going to start with Nellie's voice. So, this has been a hard year for many of us, a year of accumulated losses, some dramatic, some more quiet, some still unfolding. Loss of people, loss of health, loss of roles, loss of animals who are family, loss of the sense of things that are basically stable, dot, dot, dot. So when we talk about attachment today, we're not talking abstractly. We're talking from inside a year like this one. And this is me. Yes, I agree. When loss is close, the Buddhist teaching of attachment, it almost can feel like an accusation, as if deep loving or loving deeply was the mistake. Back to Nellie. For a long time, both Buddhism and Western psychology used the same English word, attachment, but seemed to mean very different things. At one point, I thought that was a problem of the translation, that Buddhism should have used a different word altogether. I don't think that way anymore. In both traditions now, there's a clearer understanding of a healthy, functional attachment and unhealthy, dysfunctional attachment. And this is me thinking, well, I think at times it can still be confusing in our experience, and especially how the teaching is presented or being referenced. Sometimes attachment is seen as clinging, sometimes it's seen as craving, other times as passion or lust. So I'd like to focus on how we hold what we love, who we love, where we love, especially when it begins to change. And now this is both of our voices. So this is where the teaching gets more subtle. We often think of attachment in binary terms. Either you're attached or not. Either you're clinging or not. Either it's healthy or not, dysfunctional or not. But our practice of reflective meditation opens up the word. There is attachment that includes care, connection, responsiveness, attachment that includes what you're interested in, being drawn into it, letting yourself go in that direction, taking up things that matter in this life, have a sense of attachment to the things that matter. And yet there are times that we cling to what we love, we grasp at it or tighten around it, not able to let go yet, or refusing to let go. So in a year like this one, distinguishing these nuances seem to be required of us. An inherited ideal in Dharma practice is the frame of radical self-reliance, especially in such teachings as be a lamp unto yourself or finding your own path on your own. There's some kind of extra self-reliance that's often added in there. Relationships can seem secondary and sometimes even distracting at times in Dharma practice. Women in particular could be labeled as too relational, too attached, as if caring too much itself were a spiritual weakness. Excuse me. Yet caring too much does have its own burdens. And the middle way is not caring. I believe it's fortunate to be learning the Dharma in this era. I've seen a kinder, more relational Dharma emerge. Not necessarily, though, I want to really make this clear. I don't see a softening of the teachings necessarily, but translators have changed. Translation choices have changed, have broadened, have opened up for more possibilities, and cultural assumptions have been questioned. A secular expression has emerged. And the Buddhist teaching that spiritual friendship is the whole of the path, the whole of the path, is really no longer seen as marginal. It's often quoted from many different traditions, and it's central to Buddhist teachings these days. So reflective meditation, our practice points us, I think, we think in the direction to be attached and to know it will end. That we come to know attachment is inseparable from loss. So this brings me to something very close to Nelly and my hearts right now is yesterday, Nelly and her partner had to say goodbye to Ricky, their cat, their beautiful, constant home companion. And in the last year or so, Ricky was very often on Nelly's lap, especially when we met online for our work sessions. I don't think she came on so frequently when Nelly was teaching. But we never made it full of, through a full work session with Ricky on Nelly's lap because Ricky has paws and paws, play with keyboards. And she's also very curious. Have you tried typing with a curious cat on your lap? And Ricky would often look at me on the screen and I would be talking to her and I would, wonder, why doesn't she act like she knows me? And Nelly would always remind me, cats can't smell. She can't smell you. But when I visited, Ricky knew me immediately. It's one of those things where that bond that gets created just carried through time. And then we would just basically pick up where we left off. So I know that Nelly loved Ricky with the knowledge that she would likely outlive her. This is, a common knowledge for people who have pets that become dear home companions. So there is a loss and the grieving process has started. And Ricky is now buried in their backyard. Yesterday they had a ceremony for her. So I want to acknowledge Ricky's life and her importance in Nelly's life. And I also just want to sit with and consider that we all have very deep attachments, a variety of them, with each other, with other people, with places and things, and that is very much a part of our life, as well as the loss and the separation that comes when we lose something we love. So I'm ending a few minutes early. I'm ending here this morning, and we will continue to practice. I'm just going to change my view for a second.